Hey, Hoss, this guy says he's got a truckload of Smurfs he wants you to check out.
Bring them around back, man. I'll be out there in a second. I just got a few things, all right?
Come on, man.
It's been really hot in Vegas lately, so unless he has a trunk full of gold coins, I'm gonna take my time before leaving the AC.
Say hello to my little friends.
Holy crap. I've never seen so many.
What do we got here?
Dude, you gotta get these.
Smurfs, huh?
Yeah, pure blue gold.
How many Smurfs do you have in here?
Have almost 1,000 Smurfs here.
Holy Smurf.
Dude, I love Smurfs.
Yeah, man, you gotta go get up to the front door.
Dude, but
You're security, not Smurf watcher.
man.
My favorite TV show was The Smurf, and it took me 15 years to collect them. I'm hoping to take $12,000. It's a life collection, but I have to move on.
I can't, for the life of me, remember what the story was about. You know, they lived in a village. It was like a secret.
Yeah, they live in a secret village, and they build bridges, they cook, and their leader is Papa Smurf.
Who was always trying to get the Smurfs, though?
Gargamel and his evil cat, Ezreal.
Gargamel and Ezreal. All right,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I watched Smurf cartoons, too, when I was a kid, but this seems a little obsessive, man.
Well, you gotta have them all. They have firemen, they have bodybuilders, they have skateboards, bicycles, motorcycles, every sports, boxing, they have them all.
All right, well, that's good to know. Smurfs were huge when I was a kid, and now they're making a comeback with new movies and more toys. With all the different characters and storylines, I mean, they're the perfect things for toy collectors. I mean, look at this guy. He's obsessed.
So what exactly do you have here?
Well, I got all the first edition of the regular Smurf. I got like around 700 of these figurines. I had some promotional Smurf. I got even the Benjamin Franklin Smurf, bodybuilder Smurf. I got everything here.
What about the boxes in the back? What other kind of stuff do you have?
I got the houses of the Smurf village. I got the windmill. I got the sports stadium.
You got a lot of Smurfs.
Smurfed out, man.
So what do you want to do with it?
I want to sell it.
You just done with the Smurfs, or?
Yeah, I've moved to a smaller house. I just don't have the time and space to keep collecting them.
How much are you looking to get?
I want $12,000.
All right, go call Johnny.
Normally, if someone brings me a carload of loose toys, I'm not that interested. But some of these do have the original packaging and are in pretty good shape. So it would be a bad business choice not to get them checked out.
That's amazing. We got some of the older stuff here. It's sad because probably in this truck, it doesn't do it any justice. This stuff is pretty amazing when it's displayed. I mean, everything's in scale to the little figure. So when you set everything up, it looks like a little Smurf village.
Huh.
It's really impressive. There were so many different Smurfs in the village, you know, so everybody related to one of the Smurfs. Brainy Smurf, Jokey Smurf, you had Smurfette. Everybody did their thing, nobody had status. There was no money in their village. It was a pretty neat concept. Most of these figures were hand-painted, so sometimes there's variations in the color. So there's like a pink and then the green and yellow. I mean, this would probably be like an $80 to $100 figure. And in perfect condition, this could be up to maybe $250 to $300.
And here are my Super Smurfs. I have all the complete collection.
What's a super Smurf?
Well, the super difference between these and a lot of the regular figures is these came with like accessories. So they got not only the Smurf, but it'll have an accessory that comes with it as well. So these are very hot with the collector market.
Yeah, I have them all in their original box.
It's really impressive to see that.
All right, Johnny, enough Smurfing out, man. What do you think?
Well, I mean, it's an impressive collection. I mean, we got a lot of the vintage stuff. We got a lot of the box accessories. Overall condition seemed pretty good on a lot of your loose PVC figures. It's a great collection. It's really complete. You should have no problem retail in the $6,000 to $7,000 range for everything.
Oh, come on, man. I think this is worth a lot more than that.
I mean, today, right now, in today's market, I mean, that's what I see, $6,000 to $7,000 here.
Oh, Johnny, man, I appreciate it, buddy.
No problem, man. They should have no problem moving this, but it's a lot of pieces, so they're gonna have to sell them individually, and it's gonna take a course of time to move everything. The vintage stuff should move first. The newer stuff, that's gonna take the longest to move.
That's a little bit of a difference in price.
Here's the deal, buddy. Last time I bought an entire collection like this, it took me probably about 3 years to go through them, and I threw them in the trash just to get rid of them. I was tired of them being around the store. I don't know if I want to go through it again. I'll give you $2 grand for all of it.
No, come on, man.
The amount of time and labor this stuff takes to actually sit there and sell, you're better off selling it yourself.
No, I think Gargamel would pay me more than that, man.
You know, that's what I'm willing to do, man.
I'll tell you what, I'll lower it to 4,000.
4,000?
Yeah.
You got 2,500 bucks. I'm not gonna pay any more.
What about 3,000?
2,500 bucks.
2,800.
2,500.
Not a little bit more now?
Not even 1 cent more.
This is a life collection, man.
It's your life collecting this stuff, not mine, man. I'm trying to buy it for 2,500 bucks.
I'll
Deal?
take it.
All right, cool. Let's go inside and do some paperwork. Chum, you want to start packing Smurfs?
Yeah.
I think they got Lucky Smurf on their side because they got a really good deal.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Are those what I think they are?
They are. 2 original MC Escher lithographs.
That is deeply cool. I just love his stuff. I mean, he's the only one who's ever done art like this. I mean, he's just this really screwed up, bizarro perspective. This was a guy who was going to be an architect. Then he became an artist and sort of incorporated the two and made this madness.
Yeah. I got these lithographs from the family of Escher's last printer. He didn't print his own lithographs. He had someone else do it because the process is so tedious. I'm selling these Escher lithographs only because they're duplicates. If I make a deal today, I'll use the money to probably buy more Escher artwork in the future.
He has always been one of my favorite artists. Take artists throughout the centuries, there's maybe 25 of them where you can look at their work and say, that's him. You know, you got Van Gogh. You can look at a Van Gogh and say, that's Van Gogh. Escher is one of those people. You look at an Escher and you know it's an Escher. Do you know the names of these?
So yeah, this one's called Three Worlds because there's the world reflected in the water, so you see the trees. There's the world on the surface of the water, which are the leaves of the tree. And then the third world is the world underneath the water, which is the koi.
That is really cool.
This one's called Belvedere. It's an impossible building, and a number of Escher's impossible buildings are actually halfway possible, meaning if you look at just the bottom half of the print, it's perfectly logical, or the top half of the print, but it's the combination of the two that create the illusion.
Yeah, he makes this three-dimensional thing exist in 2 dimensions that could never exist in 3 dimensions. You know, I just love everything about the way he did this stuff. I have never actually had a legitimate Escher lithograph come in my shop, and they are in incredible shape, which really scares me, because if there's one thing I've learned in this business, if it's too good to be true, it usually is. So the big question is, how much you want for them?
So for the Three Worlds, I'm asking $17,500, and for the Belvedere, $18,000.
All right. So I guess you know a lot about these things, and the more expensive something becomes, the more often it's faked. Let me have a friend come down and take a look at them. There's some questions I have. It's not that I don't trust you, it's just that I don't trust you.
Right.
I'm a little bit excited about this, so hold on.
All right. I think it's reasonable to call in an expert because for a transaction with this much money, you want to know that it's real. If he agrees with my price range, then that makes my deal all that easier.
Escher, all right.
Prepare to bend your mind.
You know, he's the first artist that I just was obsessed with because he took concepts I was learning in school, you know, physics, science, gravity, and he took those laws and he broke them. MC Escher's impossible constructions are just that. They're impossible to recreate in 3 dimensions, but he was able to do it in 2 dimensions through tricks and perspective that just were mind-bending. These are great. Now, what I'd like to do is take a closer look. So what I'm looking for here is that dot matrix pattern you'll find on offset lithography. I see a lot of the stippling that would have been used, but I don't see any sort of a dot matrix or rosette pattern that you typically see on a 4-color or offset lithograph. Now this one, I'm a little familiar with this one. Again, I'm seeing the stippling, I'm seeing the type of patterns you would see in a stone lithograph.
Okay. So, are they real?
It's real.
Okay. So they weren't printed yesterday?
They weren't printed yesterday. They just look like it. I mean, I've never seen prints of this vintage in quite such good condition. They're exceptional.
Okay, so what do you think these are worth?
This one, Belvedere, I love the image, and it could be argued that this one might even be a more marketable image. The one thing that I think really will detract from the value is the lack of a signature. I'd probably put a value on this one in maybe the $5,000 to $8,000 range, whereas this one I'd probably put in that 15 to 20 range.
Okay.
Well, I beg to differ, because this is a print that another one from this same family went to auction for 5 figures.
Again, the concerns I have, we don't really have any proof.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Rick, hey, as always, it was great. It's great meeting you. You've got some exceptional works here.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. MC Escher's work just continues to resonate, and I think every generation kind of picks up on it and its genius. I think it's timeless.
So, sounding like this one's sort of like out of the question.
Yeah, there's no, I mean,
Okay.
you can buy the top half of it for, $5,000.
Okay, so Belvedere is out of the question. And the Three Worlds, what's your best price?
I think 17.5 is a fair price for the 3 worlds. It's right in the middle of Brett's assessment.
You just have to look at my situation. I have to resell it. This is a business where I got to make money. I would go 12 grand on the Three Worlds.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't.
I mean, it's an incredible print. I think it will sell for right around 16, 17,000. But I'm not in the business of breaking even. Or I'll go 13. That's all I'm gonna go.
If it had flaws, I would agree with you, but I can't go that low for something in this condition.
I really love them, but business is business. If you change your mind, come back and see me, man.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, man.
It would have been great to make a deal today, but at the same time, Escher is super famous. There's someone out there who are not gonna buy it to try to sell it. They're gonna buy it because they love it and keep it for themselves. And that extra few $1,000s won't make a difference.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. What can I help you with?
My dad gave this to me, and he's hoping that it'll pay for my dress for my wedding.
Star Wars, Battle on the Death Star. It looks like it's autographed down here. Do you know by who?
I know Tom Ford and some other signatures that I can't actually read.
It's pretty cool. Tom Ford, like the designer? You mean Harrison?
Okay, Harrison Ford. I really don't know that much about Star Wars. I'm kind of a superhero fan, but I'm getting married, and my dress is about $4,000, so hopefully the comic book will pay for it. And I really want that dress.
This is pretty cool. How long have you had it?
My dad actually got it from one of his friends, and he's had it for, I think, since he was a kid.
So you collect comics yourself?
I have a few. I read, like, Batman and Superman and a whole bunch of superhero comics. I'm not into stuff like this.
I love Superman. But yeah, this is pretty cool because, you know, Marvel was kind of like in a little slump, and then along comes Star Wars. Everyone loved the movies, everyone loved the comic books, and this comic book just kind of like revamped them. Do you mind if I take it out of the sleeve?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
All right. I'll be really, really careful.
Don't rip it.
Don't jinx me. This is issue 3, so issue 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the original movie, and then they go on to create another storyline for the rest of the comics. It looks like it's in pretty good condition. It looks pretty old. The pages are kind of yellowing. The cover's really neat. I'm just trying to read the signatures, and I can't really read them. That definitely looks like Ford, though, so that could be a big one if Harrison Ford signed this. Stuff associated with the original Star Wars movie usually does pretty good here in the shop. But I need to find out who signed this thing and if the signatures make it worth any more money before I make this girl an offer. How much are you looking to get for this?
I'm hoping somewhere around $4,000. That's how much my dress is worth, and I really can't afford that, so.
I mean, it could be worth a lot of money. It is Star Wars, it is a comic. So I actually would like to call 2 people down here.
Okay.
One of them will be able to tell us about the comic book and how much it's worth. And the other one will be able to tell us who signed these and
Real
if that's really
signatures.
even Harrison Ford's signature, or did your dad's friend sign this in his bedroom and give it to your dad?
Probably.
Give me a few minutes if you don't mind waiting. I'll see how fast I can get them down here.
Okay, thank you. I really have no idea what this is worth, but I'm hoping that this is actually worth a lot of money with the signatures, and I'm starting to see dollar signs.
Hey,
What's up, gentlemen?
how you doing?
Good to see you, man. How are you?
Yeah. So I called you about some signatures on the Star Wars comic because I know you know almost as much about signatures as you do about Star Wars.
Yeah, it's right in there. Yeah, a little obsessed. I mean, it's pretty rare you see, you know, any kind of Star Wars signatures on comics. But funny enough, back in 1977, trying to promote Star Wars. Now, imagine this, okay? You have Mark Hamill, who was Luke. You have Carrie Fisher, who was Princess Leia. You have Harrison Ford, who played Han Solo at a Canadian comic book store. So I'm thinking that this could have been from that comic book signing because it was a very famous appearance.
It's pretty cool.
I'm not a comic book collector, but when they start talking about Star Wars autographs, I'm the guy for that job. The first thing I want to do, though, and you know, I always take a look at this, is the ink on the piece. The first one is Harrison Ford, and I can see as we follow along, it looks like nice ballpoint pen. And that is a writing instrument that was pretty popular then. You know, Sharpies were around, but they weren't really used too much by collectors.
Okay.
But the next thing I do is I want to focus in on the exemplars and kind of try and match the signatures. This is Ford. Beautiful, neat, flowing. It's signed in cursive, but it looks almost printed out to me. And here I'm starting to see that, especially this F. It's literally the same transition points. The end's almost the same way.
Who are these other two autographs?
Well, up here is Mark Hamill and Luke Skywalker, of course, and then Carrie Fisher, who is Princess Leia. So you had the three main ones on there.
Awesome.
All right, so the signatures are good?
Well, I'll tell you. I see something a little strange here. Carrie Fisher. In her last name, it's a pinch different here. And Mark Hamill. This is what we call stacking, where he stacks the signatures. This version, it's not. It kind of goes straight across. But we take a look and we see great letter formation. So this is genuine. Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, they all signed that piece.
So Dad's friend didn't write those autographs in his bedroom?
No.
All right.
This is a great piece. It captures them right when they did Star Wars. You do not see this stuff.
Well, how much are they worth?
Now, I don't grade comics, and that's kind of not my thing, but based on the fact that the signatures are just really nice and vintage in the same pen, this is something that's worth $3,000 range.
That would be awesome.
Well, the signatures that were on the comic, having them together on a piece isn't exceedingly rare, but having them at the same event, and especially in 1977 when Star Wars came out, now that makes it ultra rare.
Really close to getting that dress.
Okay, well, that's good.
All right, well, I don't need you to grade the comic because I got another nerd coming.
Really? So it's okay if I just nerd out here?
You know I like you, Steve. You can stay if you want.
All right, I'm gonna nerd out.
Oh, wow, Star Wars 3.
Yes, this is her
All right.
comic.
All right.
So I've had Steve come and take a look at these autographs.
Hamill, Fisher, and Ford.
Yeah, no doubt they're real. It's, you know, really fantastic piece.
Ballpoint pen all together. Nice. All right, now, in '77, Marvel was trying to do a price increase, so they increased on select areas from 30 cents to 35 cents. So if you find a 1 through 4 with a 35-cent price variant, the value just goes insane.
Is there just not as many of...
Now they're rare. They're hard to find, especially on the Star Wars 1 through 4. This is a regular 30 cent, and first I really ought to make sure it's whole. It should be 8 pages to the centerfold, then 8 after. It's a nice shape. No tears, no creases.
Okay.
And good news is it's complete.
Awesome.
I think it's about a 9.4, so near mint comic itself without the signatures would be worth about $50.
But if it was a 35-cent comic, it would be...
Like $3,000.
And what's the difference in them? Is there any...
A 5 right
just
there.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
Breaking my heart.
Someone get me a marker.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think I've heard everything I need to know. Thank
You got it anytime.
Nice to see you. Good luck. Take care.
Thank you.
Well, you know, based on what Paul said about the comic book, it really doesn't change the value too much.
Thank you.
You got it. He said it was about a $50 comic book, but still, really, your whole value there is for the signatures. And that's kind of what makes it so special.
Well, you said you wanted 4,000 and you were trying to sell it for a dress. Honestly, I'm not gonna be able to get you up to that 4,000.
What about 3.5?
It's just, that's more than it's worth. Those guys are really good at what they do though, and I'm sure it is worth 3, so. Would you take 1,500 for it?
I'm not dropping below 3. I kind of want what it's worth out of it. I really want that dress.
I don't see myself paying any more than 1,500 for it. Maybe try out a couple comic stores because I think you deserve your dress more than you deserve this Star Wars comic.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, thanks for bringing it in.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. I'm positive I can get more out of it somewhere else. But if my dad's friend had spent 35 cents rather than 30 on it, I would have gotten an extra $3,000 off of it. Life sucks.
Earlier, I got a call from a guy selling a classic Mustang. So Corey and I are on our way to go check it out.
So this is it, huh?
This is it. A 68 Mustang Fastback GT.
This is what we're here for? Yes, we're definitely here for this. This is the coolest car ever made, possibly.
This is a car that Steve McQueen used to drive. I called the guys down from the pawn shop today to check out my 1968 Mustang GT. I can't afford to restore the car, so I need to sell it. I would like to have 20,000. I might have to come down even as much as 12,000.
It's not the actual car Steve McQueen drove.
One exactly identical to what he had.
In Bullet, he had a 68 Mustang GT Fastback.
Right.
This is the quintessential muscle car. It's 1968, the movie Bullet comes out. It was the greatest car chase scene in the history of all movies, and they had no special effects or anything like that. This is it. Steve McQueen was one of the biggest movie stars of the 60s and the 70s. I'm a huge fan, and it's not just me. There's a ton of diehard McQueen fans out there that I could sell this to. I want it. You want to sell this, right?
I want to sell it.
How much do you want for it?
I got to get 20 grand out of it. When this car is like new again, it will be worth around $100,000.
Let me have a friend come down and take a look.
Sure.
Gentlemen, goodness gracious, Steve McQueen machine. I own Counts Customs right here in Las Vegas. We specialize in building anything cool with an engine. Let me ask you, how long have you had it?
For about 3 years.
Nice.
I mean, I just love this car. I mean, this is the quintessential muscle car.
Please talk him out of buying it.
Rick, besides Corey, what are your concerns?
I just want to make sure it's a GT, and I need to know if I can get it back to beautiful condition without putting me in bankruptcy court.
Okay. Take a peek, man.
There's no rust rot in it. It's just surface rust.
This ain't rust. It looked like somebody used some sort of a chemical stripping agent on it. It makes it look like that. Sexy. The way all the door gaps line up, the way the doors open and close, I mean, it's solid. Now let's take a look at the soul of this beautiful baby right here.
It is the factory engine, 5-liter 302 engine.
That's correct. That's exactly what's supposed to be in here.
So is it a GT?
Looks like a GT to me, brother, and it looks like a nice one, believe it or not. It's this grille with the fog lights built into the grille. Things like the gas cap, that's all factory GT items.
So what do you think it's worth?
I would comfortably put this car anywhere between $12,000 and $15,000 as it sits right now.
Okay. All right, man, if I buy it, I'll give you a call.
I'll be waiting for that call. Corey, most people would look at this and think it's a pile of garbage. It'll be a bit of a challenge to make it perfect, but it's a gem.
I'll give you 10 grand for it.
Oh, I gotta have more than that. I'll come down a little bit, but I can't come down that much. That's half of what I was asking.
My guy just said it was worth 12, dude.
I need to get 15.
I'll go 11. I mean, basically, it's just gonna sit around here and rot.
It can't get worse here. I'll keep it inside, out of the weather. Can you come up any?
How about 12?
How about 12.5? That's the least I can take, 12.5.
All right, it's a deal.
Okay. I hope that they'll be able to take it and do the work to it that I haven't been able to do to it, because the car well deserves it.
All right, so where are we at?
It's top secret.
I'm just hoping you're not bringing me out here to bury me or bury the car.
This is Vegas, you know.
So you really did bring us out here to kill us.
We've been working around the clock to get this Bullitt Mustang ready for Rick Harrison, and after everything we've been through with her, she's finally ready for the road. So I've got Kevin bringing Rick and Corey out to the desert so they can see what this baby can do.
Well, there's something coming. Definitely doesn't look like the piece of crap we bought, so. Oh, wow. That's not the same car, is it?
Oh, yeah.
What's up, gents?
My God, man. That thing is amazing.
Beautiful, huh? Came out gorgeous.
Oh, this is cool, man.
I poured my heart and soul into it, just like I was building it for myself.
This is just absolutely amazing.
Glad you dig it, brother.
I'm looking at this car, and everything about it's amazing. The paint job, the chrome, the wheels. I mean, this car used to look like a piece of Now it's one of the prettiest cars I have ever seen in my life.
Sexy,
This is
huh?
amazing. What'd you do to the motor?
Everything.
Well, that's definitely not stock.
I mean, we took this car down to the last nut and bolt. It's a very, very happy motor, dude.
That's amazing. So I'm assuming it costs more than 15 grand to fix.
Well, you know, let's talk about that later. Let's go for a drive first, man. Before I tell Rick how much we ended up spending on the Bullitt, I want to get him out on the road so he can see just how bad this car is. And hopefully, he won't be too mad when he hears we went over budget.
All right.
Do your thing.
This thing is amazing. This thing's literally the fountain of youth. Oh, look at me in the mirror. I'm 22 years younger. Danny really did this car perfect. And the whole fact that it looks exactly like the car in the movie is a big deal. I'm a big Steve McQueen fan. I mean, he was the king of cool. This thing's amazing, dude. I'm gonna own this car for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Look, I grew hair. Danny told me he'd get this thing done for $15,000. I think it's gonna go way over that. Okay, so I'm imagining it costs more than the 15 to 20?
It did. I definitely blew past our budget. I know we were trying to keep it as close as we could to 15. I've got, 22 in it.
I mean, honestly, if you would have told me 35, I would have thought that was a deal. But hey, I don't gotta pay that. Thanks, man.
As long as you're that happy, I'm that happy.
I bought the car for $12,500. Danny only charged me $22 to fix it, which means I'm in the entire thing $34,500. And literally the car's worth $50 or $60. Or the way I'm looking at it, I think the thing's priceless.
What do we got here?
This is my Jackie Robinson Bond Bread Complete Rookie Card Set.
Cool. I'm sure they sold a lot of bread that way.
I'm here at the pawn shop today to sell my Jackie Robinson Bond Bread Complete Rookie Card Set. I'm obsessed with Jackie Robinson. The civil rights movement's basically built on his shoulders. He's really the most impactful athlete of all time. I'm looking to sell this set for $42,000.
This is definitely cool. In 1947, Jackie Robinson broke baseball's color barrier to play second base for the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Yeah, and he became the most exciting player when they brought him up. He was able to change hearts and minds, first in the clubhouse, then more broadly through Brooklyn and throughout the nation.
Which I believe he's the only single number that's retired through all of baseball. Number 42 is not on any team. That's a feat in itself. So how'd you come across these?
I'm obsessed with Jackie Robinson, and I look for him, and over years and years, you find one here and one there and put them all together.
So in the 1940s, companies would put trading cards in their products as a marketing technique. So kids would be in the bread aisle with mom, and this one has baseball cards in it. Mom, you gotta get this one. This is probably one of the first promotional things he did.
It is, because Ranch Rickey really didn't want him promoting different materials. It was hard enough for him to break the color barrier, so.
And this is the full set of all the ones Bond Bread did.
It's the full 13. It's a really near impossible set to collect, and his Rickey cards are incredibly popular, this being the centennial anniversary of his birthday.
You know, his stuff is extremely collectible. The cards, to me, they look a little worn, but they're really, really old. Any idea what you're looking to get for them?
I'm looking to get $42,000 for them.
That's a lot of money. When it comes to baseball cards, one little corner, one anything on it changes the value a few $1,000s. Looking at these things, I'm not the greatest at it. I got a buddy that is. Do you mind if I have him come down and take a look at them?
Oh, I don't mind at all.
Okay, hang out. I'll be right back.
Great. I'm fine with an expert coming in. I know the value of these cards, and I'm happy to get anyone else's opinion on them.
Bond-bred Jackie Robinson cards. Apparently the whole set.
Cool. Jackie Roosevelt Robinson. Yeah, he definitely paved the way for a lot of African-American athletes. He wins the Rookie of the Year in 1947, and then in 49 they made the MVP award for him. And after baseball, he ended up joining the NAACP for Fight for Freedom. So here you have a guy that, finishes baseball, he can go enjoy his money and do whatever he wants, but he's working with Congress to abolish segregation. So he was a great guy.
He was a game changer in every way.
Yeah.
So the whole set is here, right?
The set's 13 cards. These came out in 1947. They came in really rough condition because, people went into the grocery stores and they'd buy a loaf of bread, and then the cards would move around with the bread. So you really never find these cards in really, really nice shape.
Mm-hmm. That being said, what's the collection worth?
Jackie Robinson cards are definitely collectible. So value-wise, I think this set's worth $6,000.
Okay.
I think it's worth considerably more. The Jackie Robinson market's really hot.
Yeah, no, it's definitely hot. I understand that side. The only thing is that our company, Memory Lane, has sold one of these sets for $8,000, and the condition was a little bit better. But overall, it's an unbelievable set, and it does take a long time to put this set together.
Okay, well, appreciate you coming out.
You got it, absolutely.
So, I gotta go with what he says. The reason I called him in is because I trust his opinion. So if he says they're worth about $6,000, that means I'm gonna have to make you an offer lower than that. You're wanting $42,000. Are we gonna be able to make a deal?
Yeah, I think I'll hold on to him. I mean, Jackie Robinson's always gonna be relevant and important, so.
I would agree with you there, man. I appreciate you bringing them down.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's pretty surprising to see a value of $6,000 for them. So I'm gonna take the cards, continue to enjoy them, and find another collector who would appreciate them as much as I do.
What do we got here?
Well, this is Magnavox Odyssey 200 video game console from 1975. I bought this when I was in my early 20s. So I used to have my friends come over to the house. We'd have a few beers and get crazy with the Odyssey here.
You guys sound like some wild dudes.
Back when I first got it, I was the coolest guy on the block. I have a tendency to collect things, and my wife has gently suggested that I get rid of a few of them. Today, I'm hoping to get about $350 for it.
Oh, that's nice, man.
The Magnavox Odyssey was released in like 1972. It was huge. I mean, it was the first commercially available video game console.
Back then, just the novelty of being able to play a game on a TV was pretty cool. Basically, there was a little white dot that went back and forth, and each player had a paddle. If you hit the dot with your paddle, the game continued. If the dot got past your paddle, your opponent scored a point.
Essentially, it was Pong, right?
Yeah, it was kind of a Pong on steroids.
Kids these days are totally obsessed with video games. While everybody's heard of the Atari, the Odyssey actually came out 5 years before that. I'm sure gamers everywhere would love this thing if they could leave their couch long enough to come buy it.
You mind if I open it up?
Sure, go ahead.
Don't break it, big hoss.
Does it take batteries?
Yeah, it takes 6 C-cell batteries.
It couldn't even give you a power cord with it, huh?
There's a switch on the front, A, B, and C for the 3 games. The 2 or 4 player mode, you control the paddle with the knobs.
What do you want to do with it, man?
Well, I'd like to sell it.
Any idea what you're looking to get out of it?
Well, I'd like to get $350.
Like $3.50?
Oh, gee. No, $350. I think it has some historical value, and everything's here, the game, the box, the owner's manual, and the accessories.
To be honest with you, man, this is a little out of my realm here. Do you mind if I have a buddy of mine who kind of specializes in stuff like this take a look at it?
I'd like to hear what he has to say.
All right, let me give him a call.
Now, these young kids probably don't know what they're talking about. I think when the expert comes, he'll set them straight on what the price of the unit is.
What do you got, man?
Odyssey 200, check it out.
Sweet, an old Magnavox game system.
What you know about it?
Oh, man, this is like classic 70s stuff right here. This is neat. Understand, Magnavox, I mean, they started the market with the first Odyssey in 72. You know, Ralph Baer, back in 66, hard to imagine that far back, he started to create the brown box, and by 68, he had the prototype. And today, that's in the Smithsonian Museum. You know, he's considered to be the Thomas Edison of video games. So, I mean, this is definitely historic stuff right here. As far as, I mean, game systems go, everything started right after Odyssey came out in 72. Then we had the Odyssey 100, which came out before this. This is like 75. And the only real difference was it was able to keep score. And this was the first game system to be able to support 4 different players, which was kind of innovative at the time. When the Odyssey first hit in 1972, it was futuristic. I mean, these are just little beams of light going across your screen, but they set up a whole new era, a whole new industry at the time. It's pretty neat. Understand, the new generation of kids grew up with Xboxes, PlayStations, so of course, it drives the market up for a lot of this retro gaming. The earlier systems could go up to $1,500, a few $1,000s complete.
Wow. That changes things a little bit. Sorry if I was kind of mean to you earlier. What do you think this one's worth, Jody?
These all have some value, and condition is everything.
All right.
There's no cracks on the system, but there's some condition issues with the box. Yeah, we got a tear right here. We got a little bit of staining here. That hurts the value too. But, I mean, overall, everything looks complete. I think that today's market, it's probably in the $75 to $100 range. And I would say this one probably be closer to the 75.
Yeah, I thought you said that they were going for $1,000.
That'd be the 72, the original one that would come out. This is 75, and just the collector's market hasn't caught up to this yet. You could easily see these go up in value, though.
Okay.
Johnny, appreciate it.
All right, guys. Take care.
See you later.
Technology from the 70s grew so much in just 15 years. And I believe these old 70s game systems are only going to go up and up in value.
All right, so my guy's saying it's worth 75 bucks. Now, that means I can offer you about 25.
Wow.
You know, you might want to hold on to it for a little while longer. I mean, you've held on to it this long. It might be worth something someday. Just not to me, not today.
I think I'll see what happens in the future.
All right, my man. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate
Thanks for taking a look at it. When he said $75, I was devastated. I paid more for it back in 1975. He said, you know, if you wait a few more years, it might increase in value, so I think I'll just keep it and wait until then.
Hey, how's it going?
I have some Star Trek memorabilia that I'm looking to sell.
Awesome.
This is a phaser.
Okay.
And this would be a communicator. Then I have a script, first draft from The Voyage Home. And this is a Tribble.
All right.
I came to the pawn shop today to sell my Star Trek collection of props. I've watched all the movies, I watched the television show, but I'm not a collector of memorabilia, so I thought that I would come in today and see if I can make some money.
Where'd you get this stuff?
A friend of mine had a garage sale, and I was like, you can't sell this. This is worth something. This is Star Trek. All of this definitely looked to be exactly like props used in the television series.
So you're telling me Captain Kirk could have held this taser himself?
It's a phaser, chum, not a taser.
He very well could have held that phaser himself. Okay, so what I have here is a communicator. This is what Captain Kirk would use.
That's pretty cool, Big Hoss.
Okay.
And then I have a script, a first draft Star Trek script from The Voyage Home. And this Tribble is from the episode Trouble with Tribble. And they had a bunch of them multiplying on the ship, causing all kinds of havoc.
Star Trek is like a religion for some people. It started off as a groundbreaking TV show in the 60s, and it's had something like 6 spin-off TV shows, a dozen movies, and God knows how many books. Okay, so do we have anything guaranteeing the authenticity of this stuff?
Well, I did some research on the internet where some have been sold. They have some pictures online that I looked at, and these definitely looks very authentic.
So what do you think the value of it is?
The communicator was valued at about $2,000, the phaser $1,000, the Tribble $1,000, and the script was, I would guess, about $800.
Okay, well, I got some bad news for you. You can take these and do whatever you want with them because I have never had any type of luck with movie scripts. I've lost money on every one I've ever bought. But on the other hand, I just bought a whole car full of Star Trek stuff. And I'm doing really well with it. So this stuff is really interesting to me.
Great.
Do you mind if I have a buddy of mine come down and check it out? He knows all about this stuff. He can tell me if they're authentic, stuff like that.
Great.
I've personally never really been into this stuff, but I'm a businessman, and I know Trekkies pay crazy money for stuff associated with the franchise. So it's definitely worth getting checked out.
Check this stuff out.
Wow. Got some Star Trek stuff, man. Cool. People have always been obsessed with outer space and the future, and I think that Star Trek gives people a window to what could possibly be in the future.
All right, man, well, what she's telling me is that they're not toys, they're actually props.
Okay.
How to tell the difference, I don't know, that's why I called in you.
Okay, cool, cool. So how'd you come across these items?
Well, I bought them from a friend at a garage sale. She had them all in a box.
And, I mean, was there any connection to any actor or anybody that
No.
she had purchased
No.
these from?
Mm-mm.
Okay. As far as the communicator goes, I mean, they only made 11 for the original series. There's some imperfections in the paint and just some of the materials that I'm seeing. It just doesn't look like it's prop used in the original series here. The phaser, this is a molded piece, looks to be hand painted. A toy would have been in lighter weight plastic, it would have been screwed together. I mean, everything's looking really good with this as far as a movie prop.
That's great.
Let me take a look at the Tribble. All the materials and everything looks to be like what you would see as far as a prop goes. It's a great piece.
So, Johnny, can you tell me, without any uncertainty, were these actually used in the show?
Everything looks authentic, but without being able to tie it back to anybody, I can't say 100% that these were used in the filming of the original series.
So, what would you say they're worth as they sit?
Even as a prop replica, these pieces still have value. You could easily get anywhere from $700 to $800 for the 3 pieces.
Okay.
Wow.
Better than nothing. Thanks, man.
All right, take care, man. Have a good one.
See you later.
Thank you.
So if we could actually prove they were real props from the series, we'd be talking about a lot of money. Since there's no way to prove it, and when I sell them, I actually got to call them replica props, I'm only going to offer you around $300.
Well, I think that I could get 8 if I tried to sell them on my own to a Trekkie. So I think I'm gonna stick with 8.
I'll come up to 4. You're gonna have to meet me somewhere in the middle. I can't just buy them from 8 and sell them for 8. I've got to make some money.
How about, to save me some trouble, 5?
500? I'll do that.
Okay,
John,
thank
you wanna
you.
write her up?
It's certainly not the $4,800 I was hoping for, but it's more than the $50 that I paid for it. I'm happy with it, but I think they'll get a lot more than $800 out of it.